We all think we know the story of Snow White, the beautiful princess, the jealous queen, the poisoned apple, true love's kiss. But the truth? It's much darker than what Disney ever showed us. Today we're peeling back the glittering surface and diving into the brutal origins of Snow White. Once upon a minute, Snow White's story isn't just a fairy tale. It's stitched together from real legends, real fears, and centuries of cultural anxiety. Because in old Europe, beauty wasn't a blessing, it was a danger. A beautiful woman could inspire admiration, but also jealousy, hatred, and violence. The earliest real-world figure tied to Snow White was a noble girl named Maria Sophia von Erthal, born in 1725 at the Castle of Lohr in Bavaria, Germany. Maria Sophia's early life was privileged, but not happy. She lost her mother young, and when her father remarried, her new stepmother reportedly treated her with cruelty and envy. Inside Castle Lohr, there was a mirror. Not an ordinary mirror, but a masterpiece crafted by local artisans. In those days, mirrors were expensive, rare, and deeply symbolic. They were believed to reveal truth, even truths people wished to hide. It's no wonder that a talking mirror became central to the Snow White legend. Nearby, the town's economy revolved around mining. Small children, small enough to crawl through the narrow tunnels, worked long, dangerous days underground. They wore simple clothing, lived communally, and often faced brutal conditions. When we imagine the seven dwarfs, it's not hard to see echoes of these child miners. And yes, some versions even claim Maria Sophia's stepmother tried to poison her with a cursed apple. But Snow White's roots stretch even deeper. Before Maria Sophia, there was another girl. Beautiful, cursed, and hidden from the world. Her story comes from 17th century Italy in Giambattista Basile's The Young Slave. It begins with a woman who longed for a child. Through a strange ritual involving a rose petal, she finally gave birth to a girl of breathtaking beauty. Her sister, the girl's aunt, was furious. Once the child was born, all admiration shifted away from her. In secret, the aunt cursed the girl. The child, still so young, pricked her finger on a sliver of rose thorn and fell into a death-like sleep. The family, grieving and bewildered, sealed her inside a crystal coffin, hiding her deep within the castle. Years later, while cleaning the hidden room, the aunt accidentally disturbed the coffin. The jolt dislodged the thorn, and the girl awoke. When the truth of the aunt's betrayal was revealed, justice was swift. The aunt was punished, and the young slave, once silenced, was free again. Fast forward to the early 19th century. The Brothers Grimm traveled across Germany, collecting old folk tales from farmers, millers, and village women. They softened some stories for polite society. But Snow White, it kept its sharp, brutal core. In their version, Snow White is born. Radiant, pure, adored by all. But the Queen's mirror tells a different story. You are fair, my queen, but Snow White is fairer still. Blinded by jealousy, the queen orders a huntsman. Take her into the woods, kill her, bring back her heart. The huntsman, moved by pity, cannot do it. Instead, he lets Snow White go and brings back the heart of a wild boar to fool the queen. The queen, believing it to be Snow White's, salts it, cooks it, and eats it. Disney conveniently left that part out. Meanwhile, Snow White finds a hidden cottage deep in the woods. 7 dwarfs live there, each with his own quirks, but united by kindness. They offer her shelter in exchange for her care. For a time, Snow White is safe, but jealousy never sleeps. The queen, learning that Snow White still lives, disguises herself and tries 3 times to kill her. First, a suffocating corset. Second, a poison comb. Finally, a poison apple. Each attack more cunning, more personal. And at last, the poisoned apple succeeds. Snow White collapses, breathless and still. The dwarfs, heartbroken, cannot bury her. Instead, they place her in a glass coffin, preserving her tragic beauty. Years passed. One day, a prince traveling through the forest stumbled upon her. Captivated, he asked the dwarfs if he could take her back to his castle. As they lifted the coffin, it slipped. The jolt dislodged a piece of poison apple stuck in her throat. Snow White gasped and opened her eyes. They promised to marry, and together they returned to his kingdom to begin a new life. The queen, believing herself victorious, accepted a royal wedding invitation. But at the celebration, she was met not with honor, but with punishment. Waiting for her were a pair of red-hot iron shoes, heated until they blazed like fire. She was forced to wear them and to dance until she collapsed. The real lesson of Snow White is simple. Cruelty consumes itself, and even the purest beauty must survive in a vicious world. Once upon a minute, in the next tale, a dazzling pair of red shoes, a dance you can never stop, and a punishment that makes death look merciful. The untold story behind the red shoes. Subscribe and turn on notifications.